Good evening. Tonight, stunning new accusations from a man at the center of the Metro School sexual harassment scandal.
Scott Lindsay says he was forced out of the district's HR department for insisting that complaints get proper investigations.
He sat down with News Channel 5 chief investigative reporter Phil Williams. Phil.
Well, guys, Scott Lindsay filed a lawsuit against the district back in December, but after a Nashville law firm hired by the district recently warned of a morale crisis, the veteran HR professional decided it was time to speak out about what he says has become a highly toxic environment.
It was almost kind of like, and I'm not making this up, it's almost as if like ISIS took over an HR department. That's the only way I can describe it.
That describes the terror that Scott Lindsay says gripped the Human Resources Department for Metro Schools. A highly acclaimed HR professional, Lindsay rose to become the district's executive director for employee relations. Then in 2016, Dr. Sean Joseph was named Nashville's director of schools.
So when did you first realize that perhaps things were not going to go well with this new administration?
Almost immediately.
Lindsay says when a teacher brought a loaded gun to school and left it in the library, he was puzzled when Joseph did not want to fire him.
That was a head scratcher for me. Why would you not terminate that person? They brought a firearm to school. People could have gotten killed, hurt.
And when an Overton High School teacher got into a physical altercation with a student, Lindsay prepared a form that the director was supposed to use for reporting teacher misconduct cases to the state. He says he expected Joseph's office to submit the form.
And he never did it. In fact, he never did any of them because those were his decisions.
Dr. Joseph and I have been friends for a long time.
Then in 2017, a sexual harassment complaint was filed against one of Joseph's friends, Metro Schools administrator Mo Carrasco. Lindsay put Carrasco on administrative leave. He then sent a text to HR Chief Deborah Story and her number 2, Sharon Patiller, advising, "In my professional opinion, it is likely too much for him to refute." Lindsay's lawsuit claims Patiller responded with a threat.
She called me and said, if this doesn't turn out right, Dr. Joseph is going to fire you. He may fire Deborah. He may even fire me, but he's definitely going to fire you.
Did you feel like you were playing with fire?
Oh, absolutely. A person just threatened my livelihood because this is Dr. Joseph's friend. I'm supposed to perform differently or try to come up with a different result in a sexual harassment investigation because this is Dr. Joseph's friend. I may lose my job. That's outrageous.
Let's talk about a closed investigation. Mo Carrasco.
We're not going to talk about anything right now.
It turns out, as our investigation revealed, the victim had first gone to school board member Amy Frogue, who reported it to Joseph, who did nothing. Lindsay wanted to interview the director, but he says the HR chief, Deborah Story, refused to give permission.
And she told me, well, Dr. Joseph and Mo don't know each other that well. Mo's never been to his home. And I just thought, okay, where are we going with this? That's not a real answer.
Carrasco resigned, claiming he did not think he could get a fair shake.
It's a culture of fear. It really is.
Then this man complained of being sexually harassed by middle school principal Sam Braden. Lindsay called Braden into his office.
And I made the assessment that we have to put this guy on leave. I mean, this is, you know, he's not responding in a way that would make me believe that he didn't do any of this. We need to investigate it.
Lindsay's lawsuit says he gave Braden a letter putting him on administrative leave. Then Patiller demanded that he get the letter back.
Took me back in the office, held up my administrative leave to my face and ripped it up at my face and screamed at me and says, you're not going to put him on administrative leave.
You're not going to put him on administrative leave?
You're not going to put him on administrative leave.
Why?
She didn't give me a reason. She just stormed out of my office.
In fact, the district's own files show Braden went back to school and retaliated against the employee who had made the complaint. As for Patiller, a Nashville law firm's investigation of the district's HR department recently reported that employees view her as extremely divisive, dismissive, and in their belief, incompetent.
The taxpayers paid $100,000 for that. I could have told them that for free.
So far, Metro Schools has already paid out $350,000 in settlements with 3 victims, with a bill expected to go even higher.
If I'd have been allowed to do my job, that never would have happened.
Instead, Lindsay's lawsuit says he was forced to resign as a result of the district's retaliation, and that the dark cloud over Metro Schools has made it difficult for him to find another HR job. But there's something more important that he says he did not lose.
I did not lose my integrity, and I've not lost my faith in God. And I believe that my integrity and my faith in God are going to win the day for me.
Now, Scott Lindsay is expected to go to mediation in the coming weeks to see if his lawsuit alleging retaliatory discharge can be settled. As for Sharon Patiller, the district's law firm recommended that she be fired, transferred, or retrained. But the district says there has been no change in her status. Vicki?